So welcome back to another live. I'm gonna just scoot back a little bit here. Okay. So today we are going to talk about Universal and Walt Disney World. So if you guys have been following along on the page, you know that we just got back like late last night. We rolled in the door around midnight and we visited Universal for 3 days. We were lucky enough to be invited out by the team at Universal Resorts and Hotels Orlando to just check out the park. So they, they gave us 2 free nights at the Dockside Inn and Suites, and that is their newest resort hotel that has opened. It actually just opened right before COVID, and then obviously things shut down for a little while, and they're back up. So there's 2 sides. It's called the Endless Summer Resort, and there's Dockside and there's Seaside. So we stayed in Dockside. Seaside has not yet reopened. It's a value resort, so if you stayed at Cabana Bay, it's a similar setup to that. I will say that I liked the resort better than Cabana Bay in terms of the rooms and decor and just the overall vibe. The food, all of that I thought was pretty good. The pool was really nice. So I really liked the resort. I thought the rooms were much nicer than the rooms at Cabana Bay. What Cabana Bay has going for it is that you can just walk right out of your room over to Volcano Bay. So at Dockside, you do need to take a boat. It is a kind of, even though it's considered a Universal Orlando Resorts hotel property, it is kind of off the main resort area. But the bus ride, if you guys have done the Disney bus ride, it's still a shorter bus ride over to sort of the general area that they drop you off in right before City Walk. So we got to experience that for 2 days. So thank you to Orlando, Universal Orlando, for inviting us out. And that was a really fantastic experience to be back there. We hadn't been since 2018. We did not ride the Velocicoaster. So it officially opens on June 10th. They have been in a soft opening, which means that they have been running the coaster, but there's no guarantee until June 10th that it will be running when you visit, although it's been pretty consistently open every day. We didn't ride it. It was still really long lines. So on the second day of our visit, we did do a Universal VIP tour experience. So what that is, and I have my little lanyard, it's actually back there. So let me grab it really quick. So your Universal VIP tour experience. So you do have a guide with you for 7 hours, and they walk you front of line for all of the rides. So we got to ride, we started in the Universal Studios section. So it starts with breakfast in the morning. So you're given like a 3-course breakfast, pastries, an entree, actually 2 courses, pastries and an entree, coffee. They provide you with bottled water. And then your guide walks you to the rides. So before lunch, we experienced Jimmy Fallon, Minions. What else did we go on? I'm trying to think. We went over to Diagon Alley. So we did Escape from Gringotts. We did the Men in Black ride. I'm trying to think of what else we did before lunch. All in all, we ended up doing the Mummy. We did the Transformers 3D. So we did all of like the main attractions in Universal Studios. We did skip the Simpsons area because most of those are small rides or rides with short waits. We also were provided lunch. So we had lunch, which was a 3-course lunch. So you got a salad, actually a 4-course, because we had an amuse-bouche. So we had like a little crostini, we had a salad, an entree, and dessert, and of course all of the drinks. And then we got more bottled water to head back out into the park. We went to Islands of Adventure. We did, so we rode Hogwarts Express over. So we did go back in through Universal Studios Diagon Alley. We rode from King's Cross Station over into Hogsmeade. We ended up doing Hagrid's 2 times. We did the Forbidden Journey. We did the River Adventure for Jurassic Park. Because the coaster, Velocicoaster, wasn't formally opened, our guide couldn't take us into that ride. But we did Kong, we did Spider-Man, we did the Hulk coaster. So again, for the day, we did everything, and we circled those parks like twice. We walked like 11 miles. It included breakfast and lunch, really hearty, and like a good meal for breakfast and lunch. So you get this, and then after you're done, if you want to ride any more rides, you do get the Express Unlimited. So our day ended about 4:30, and the parks closed. Islands of Adventure closed at 7. Universal Studios closed at 8. So we were able to go back and ride any rides we wanted to a second time, or anything we missed. We did do the Dr. Seuss Land for the kiddo with the Express Unlimited. And you also got a 10% discount on all of the merchandise in the stores. So it's a really good value. It is about $400 a person retail. It fluctuates a little bit depending on the season. But I will say, if you're not staying at a premium resort and you're purchasing Express Unlimited, that's about $230 a day. So you get meals, you get the Express Unlimited, you get the VIP tour. It is a good value, I think, if you're looking for a splurge. If you're going to stay at a value resort and you want to splurge on the VIP tour, which is about equivalent to staying at a premium resort and getting the complimentary Express Unlimited. So, VIP tour. I did have some questions about the new mask mandates. So, in Universal Studios, and this also carried over to Disney, outside, you did not have to wear the masks. Once you entered any queue, even if a portion of that queue was outside, you did have to wear the mask from the moment you entered the queue through the entire ride experience until you exited the queue. Also in any shops and restaurants until you were seated eating and drinking. Were people compliant? Mostly. Staff was doing a pretty good job of reminding people, making reminders. Social distancing, even though there's still social distancing markers, people were not really following those, especially, so when you don't stay at a premium resort, you do have to enter Universal through City Walk and go through security there. And during that experience, there was not one bit of social distancing. So, that is what it is. So I will say the overall experience was really fantastic over at Universal. And it really kind of hit home for me that Universal is an amusement park. It is for rides. It's the ride experience. It is the amusements. The rides are much more thrilling. And it's about getting on all of the rides. Now, on Friday morning, we took an Uber or a Lyft actually over to Walt Disney World, and we started our stay there. So we stayed from Friday until Tuesday. Disney World is a theme park, much more so. While there's fantastic rides, each park really is truly about the theming. So on Friday, we started our day at the Magic Kingdom, and we were able to knock out a whole lot of rides, even though they've eliminated the Fast Pass. So again, no masks are required outdoor. Once you enter a queue, a formal line queue for a ride, even if any portion of that line is outside, you are required to wear a mask from the moment you enter the queue until the moment you exit the attraction. So, but we were able to do a lot, even without our fast passes. The first line we got in was Seven Dwarfs. They are still attempting to social distance in Walt Disney World. I don't think there's any attempts anymore in Universal. Hi, Lisa. So a lot of the queues have extended out into the parks past where the normal lines would be. So it can seem a little bit overwhelming. For example, when we got in the line for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, it said 45 minutes. It was a true 45 minutes, so it wasn't bad. It kept moving, which was great. But because they're moving a lot of the line outside to try to social distance people, we were aligned all the way around the corner, and we started over by Ariel's Grotto. So the lines can seem a little overwhelming because they are trying to keep as much of that outside as they can. So like when you go, don't freak out if you see a line that's snaking around the park. It doesn't mean it's particularly long. They do a really good job of keeping those line times updated. So 45 minutes, that was probably the longest line we waited in. Actually, no, there was one more. But anyways, so that was a great experience. It moved really fast. We were able to get on several other rides. Pirates of the Caribbean. Boop, boop, boop. What else did we do? Big Thunder Mountain. Jungle Cruise. Lightsaber, Buzz Lightyear Spin. Kiddo loves that ride. Astro Orbiters. So there was quite a few rides that we were able to get on even without the fast passes, and none of it seemed really overwhelming. We had an amazing dinner reservation at Skipper Canteen. So if you've not eaten there, and I know a lot of people skip that restaurant, I skipped it for years. And now it's one of my favorites. The meal was great. I think the food there is really good as far as park food goes. And I don't think Magic Kingdom is ever my favorite park for restaurants, but I think that that is a contender. It's a good option. So again, the experience was great. The lines, now the park did feel busy. When I went in February, it was empty. The parks did feel busy. It feels like we're getting back to normal. So, well, I think we're still at a limited capacity. I don't know how long that's going to last. So it was busy, and we were still able to manage to do a lot of rides. What did we do next? The next day we headed over to Epcot. So we started our day in Epcot. Epcot was a little overwhelming, I'm not going to lie. So there's a couple things going on at Epcot right now. Oh, is that the only one by the... Oh, yeah. So that restaurant, Skipper Canteen, is over by the Jungle Cruise. It's actually, so I'm going to go back to that. So the Skipper Canteen is over by the Jungle Cruise, and the theming is that it's the offices of the company that runs the Jungle Cruise. So it's really cute. I loved the theming. It ties into the ride. And I know that they did... I didn't actually ride the Jungle Cruise. Eric and Harrison rode that. Eric didn't notice any changes, but Harrison noticed that Trader Sam was gone. But he loved it. He loves the Jungle Cruise. So, what else? Okay, so Epcot was a little overwhelming for two reasons. One, Future World is a hot mess. It is construction walls everywhere. So... everything around Spaceship Earth is like a hot, like you've got to walk this big circuitous like route to get anywhere, instead of being able to kind of boop, cut across. Didn't love it. Was kind of grumpy about it, not gonna lie, because I was trying to get to Mouse Gear, and we had no interest in going all the way over to Mission Mars test track area. But you couldn't get in it, like, from this way, so you had to walk all the way around this huge, like, I felt like I had to walk like a half mile out of my way to get to Mouse Gear. Anywho, so it's a hot mess. There's construction walls everywhere in Future World. It's not great. And then the line queues for things like Frozen are still, a lot of them are outside. Like when we lined up, it was a 45 minute wait, and we were all the way over in China. And then there was lines for all of the food stalls for Flower and Garden. So it just, to me, seemed really overwhelming. And Epcot is a hot park because, especially when you are just on that blacktop, there's not a ton of shade. There's not a lot of like refuge from the sun in Epcot. So midday, I was tapped out at Epcot. Like, I was ready to leave. We went back to the resort and swam. So when is the construction scheduled to be finished? Who knows? It was originally scheduled to be done for October. Everything was supposed to be done. Put a pin in it. We're here for the 50th. Boom. Let's go. And the 50th celebration starts in October. We know that Ratatouille is going to be open in time for the 50th. So we know that there's planning to open that in October. The Guardians of the Galaxy was also supposed to be open for October. It looks pretty close to me to being done. And there's also another restaurant going in there that was supposed to be ready for October. Whether that happens, I don't know. Hopefully by the end of 2021, hopefully these construction walls, the vast majority of them around Spaceship Earth, will be done by October, and that they'll just be working in that area where the Guardians of the Galaxy coaster is set to be. Fingers crossed, because it was not my favorite. So here's my advice for Epcot. Epcot stays open the latest. It's open until 10 p.m. I think for me, I'm not going to start a park day in Epcot. They don't open until 11, so it opens late. I mean, unless you really are planning to get a late start to your day, you can get over there and maybe grab like an early lunch and like poke around in the World Showcase in the morning and then relax. But it's really, for me, evening park, because by 5 or 6 o'clock, it calmed down considerably. All of the food lines were much more manageable. It obviously wasn't nearly as hot out. The sun wasn't scorching. So evening park, and that new, hopefully it's done by October, the new nighttime spectacular there looks like it's gonna be amazing. I mean, they've set up these huge barges in the lagoon that people are a little bit grumpy about. It's not the prettiest thing to look at during the day. So hopefully that'll be ready for the 50th. It'll be ready by October, because that's gonna be a great evening park. Animal Kingdom. So you guys probably saw, we did a family photo shoot in Animal Kingdom. That family photo shoot, that private photo pass session, is only $50. Now, you do have to purchase the pictures separately. You can do a day's worth of the photos. What are they called? Boop, 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 boop. Why am I blanking? Oh my God, I'm blanking. You know, when you buy the photos. You guys, help me out. Anywho, I do this every day. So instead of buying them for your whole trip, which is usually either $169 if you buy them before, or $199 if you buy them once your trip has started, you can do a day's for $69. So for about $119, we had this fabulous private photo session in Animal Kingdom, and we thought it was great. Photo pass, yes, thank you. So yeah, we did a private photo shoot, and I think the pictures were fantastic. Our photographer was awesome. He found all these little secret paths in Magic Kingdom around the Tree of Life that I've been there dozens of times and never had explored. So we got some really great pictures without a lot of people there. So after our photo shoot, so we scheduled that right at 8:30. We were done by 9 a.m. We hit Expedition Everest. We hit Dinosaur. So the playground over in the Dinosaur Dig Playground is closed still for COVID, but that hopefully will reopen soon. We didn't do anything in Pandora besides kind of just explore. And we didn't do the safari that day, but we did Kali River Rapids. So, you know, we took it easy in Animal Kingdom that day. We were really tired. Normally we do 4 total park days on any trip at the most. So at this point, we are like, we were like 5 days in, and we were really tired. So we did spend a lot of the afternoon just swimming at the pool and relaxing. And then we went back to Epcot that night and had dinner kind of around the World Showcase. And we hit a couple more rides that we hadn't hit at Epcot, like Journey into the Imagination and Living with the Land. And so it was fun. And then our final day, so at some point we did hop over to Hollywood Studios. Saturday night, our Epcot night, the day we started in the morning at Epcot, that night we went over to Hollywood Studios. So they've got to experience that for the first time at Galaxy's Edge. Amazing. They did the droid building experience. It's about $117 with tax. It's not the least expensive experience you can do. You do have to book it in advance. But if you have a true Star Wars fan, it's a really awesome experience. Like, just the experience of building the droid. Our cast member was outstanding. He walked them through it. He was great. He didn't break character. He was really just awesome. The whole experience for them, like they were thrilled for the whole thing. And in the evening, again, what I'm seeing is that in the evening, the ride times are really going down. It's that like, or like not even the early morning, but like that like late morning, early afternoon. Steve, yes, Steve, our cast member, is crazy busy. It's like packed in the parks, and because the lines are extending out of the queues for social distancing, it can seem a little overwhelming. So, but in the evenings, the wait times went way down. So we were able to jump on the Millennium Falcon. That was a 60-minute wait, and that was the longest thing we waited in line for. And it was a true 60 minutes, but the queue was awesome. So again, if you have a Star Wars nerd, 60 minutes in the queue for the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run is not a crazy amount of time because there's things to do. We did go into the Disney Play app, and we did a mission where we were scanning all throughout the queue. There's cargo. And so you scan the cargo, and then you help them like do inventory on it. It doesn't sound that interesting when I'm saying like you scan cargo and you do inventory, but it's like a little mission. And then they ask you questions. So there was like loathed cat food, and they were like, okay, well, where are loathed cats from? Lothal. And so it was really cute, and we had a lot of fun playing that while we were in the queue. And then we hopped out of there. We went on Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railroad, and and that was a 10-minute wait. Like we pretty much walked on. So we got a lot of like high quality stuff done that night, so that when we went back on our park pass day, so we were able to get the reservation or the boarding group for Rise of the Resistance. I might do an entire video just giving you guys tips on how to get a boarding group for Rise of the Resistance, because it worked out beautifully for us. I had watched a lot and kind of compiled a lot of tips from different areas, and we were in boarding group 24. We rode by 11 a.m., which was amazing. And then, so when we first went into the park, we got there right when it opened. We got in line for Slinky Dog. We busted out Slinky Dog. We busted out Midway Mania. We got on Rise of the Resistance. We ate Ronto wraps, and then we went back to swim. So 6 days in a row in the parks was a lot. We were averaging about 8 miles a day. And I was just tapped out. So when you guys do trips and I tell you you need a rest day, please believe me, like no more than 4 days in a row, because I was shattered. Now I'm not the fittest person in the entire world, but my husband is, and he was like, that's a lot. I don't want to do that again. So we really packed a lot into 6 days. So 6 park days is a lot. So if you're going for more than 4 days, think about where you want to put a rest day in your trip, because I think it's super important to do that. Yes, we did try the blue milk. The blue milk is controversial. We only tried blue. I accidentally ordered 2 blue on the mobile app, so I just took them. Are they my favorite thing in the whole world? No, but I know some people are like, this is disgusting. I thought they were good. Is it something that I would go back and say, I have to have that again? No, I mean, one and done. I wouldn't crave it, but I didn't feel like I wasted my money on it. It was okay. So it's cute. I think if you go, you should try it. You should try both milks. I will say Ronto wraps are fantastic. They don't seem like they're going to be so good. I mean, you look at them and you're like, okay, but they're delicious. I ate them twice. The kiddo ate they have like a kid's meal that's like literally a giant chicken nugget, like this big, with macaroni and cheese. But it's like really good macaroni and cheese. It tastes homemade, and the chicken nugget is like a real piece of chicken, but it's kind of cut so it's in a square, and it's breaded, and it's really good chicken. So he enjoyed that. He loved it. So it was really, overall the experience in Galaxy's Edge was really positive. But it did get really busy and crowded midday. So again, midday, it's going to be busy and crowded. I would think you're going to hit that early in the morning. You're going to hit that later in the evening. We've always been a family that has like tapped out of the parks midday, gone back to the resort and swam and relaxed from maybe about like 1:30, 2 o'clock until about 4 or 5. So we always kind of just pull that midday time frame out and just relax, because I think it just gets too overwhelming. It gets too hot. So what else? Oh, Lisa, I know you had questions about the Skyliner. So the Skyliner, there is one main transfer station, and that's the station at Caribbean Beach Resort. So if you're coming from Pop Century and Art of Animation, you have to exit at that resort. Or if you're coming the opposite direction from like the Riviera, you're going to Hollywood Studios, you exit at that resort and you transfer. So you can transfer there to Hollywood Studios, and it's a direct jaunt from the transfer station at Caribbean Beach to Hollywood Studios. Or you're going to transfer to Epcot. On the day, am I doing this backwards? I feel like I keep doing this backwards. I think I'm doing it right. Epcot is the one that passes through extra stations. So when you transfer to Epcot, it will go through Riviera Resort. You do not have to exit there. That if you're getting out at Riviera, obviously you exit. Otherwise, you can just remain. The doors will open and you just sit on it and you stay, and it takes you over to Epcot. And then the same on the reverse. So it's only that station at Caribbean Beach, that main hub, that you have to transfer. Going over to Hollywood Studios, you don't see anything behind the scenes. You don't see any backstage. Going over to Epcot, you can see the backside of the France Pavilion going into the International Gateway. They did a really good job of making sure that that was all redone. So you see the back of the Ratatouille ride, and you see the sign for Gustav's. So it didn't ruin any of the magic being able to kind of see the backstage on that. So they did a really good job of making sure that when you pull into the International Gateway on the Skyliner, that although you can see the backside of that pavilion, you're not seeing anything that's ruining the magic. Lisa, was there anything else you asked me? So yeah, that was our experience overall. Masks are in the lines, in the queues, the moment you enter to the moment you exit, in the shops, in the restaurants until you're seated eating. None outside. Park crowd levels are busier than when I was there in February. Absolutely, we're starting to get back to normal. And it feels busier than it probably actually is, only because a lot of those lines are outside now. So it seems like they're longer than they are, and there's just more people outside. I didn't see the changes to the Jungle Cruise. Harrison did, and the only thing that really stood out to him was that Trader Sam was missing. But otherwise, he still loved the ride, and he thought it was great. It's one of his favorites. What else? I think that's it. So if you guys have any other questions, let me know. As always, if you're watching this on the replay, just, let me know. Put replay in the comments. Ask me those questions that you have. If I didn't touch base on them here, I feel like I went over everything. But if there's anything I missed or something that you had a question about that I didn't touch on, let me know. So in that week, we went to every single Universal. We didn't go to Volcano Bay, so I shouldn't say. We went to both Universal theme parks. We went to all 4 of the main parks at Walt Disney World. We experienced just about all of the rides. We did mobile dining. Mobile dining is king, and it's not going away. So you're going to use it in both Universal and Disney. Get used to those apps and ordering that food ahead of time, understanding how that app works, because it's king, and I don't think it's going away. I think they're going to be pushing you to mobile order all the time. The same thing with your dining now. Even though you do your sit-down dining reservations in advance, you're going to do a mobile check-in, and they're going to text you when your table is ready. So everything is moving mobile. They're eliminating the complimentary magic bands. They're going to be doing all of that on the phone. You're going to be able to open your room via your phone. I still want a magic band. We still use a magic band. We still love a magic band. But tickets, rooms, dining, everything is on your phone. So make sure you invest in a portable charger because you're using your phone for everything. So you're using it for the photo pass, you're using it for your dining, you're using it for your room, you're using it for fast passes. When those come back, everything is on the phone. So mobile chargers, make sure you invest in those. Oh, you got your magic bands today. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, I want to see them post a picture. I want to see which colors you picked. So Karina is going to Walt Disney World in August, and I'm so excited for you guys to experience. I definitely think you guys should do the character breakfast at the Riviera. It was such an amazing experience. It's one of our favorite character meals now. And the food was really good. I had this spicy sausage hash with like a poached egg on top. It was really good. It came with pastries, and it's a prefix meal. So we ordered it, and then they're like, "Are you sure you don't want waffles?" And I was like, okay. He's like, "It's not extra." So they just would bring you extra food. The food was good. The resort is adorable. I loved everything about it. Minnie in her dress is just like everything. Our Mickey was like shaking his booty, and like he had the best dance moves. So even socially distanced, it felt like an awesome experience. I loved it. We had a great time. We had kind of just found out that our dog died that morning right before we went over, and so it like helped to raise our spirits by so much, just to like be with the with Mickey and Minnie and Donald and Daisy. And as silly as that sounds, it was just like such a nice experience to see our friends and to dance with them a little bit that morning. What else? I think that's it. Okay, so if you guys, and Karina, I want to see your magic bands. I want to see what colors you picked. Yeah, I think that's everything. So until the end of the year, we still have Magic Express. We don't know what's going to replace that. As soon as I know, I will update you guys on that. As soon as we have club levels opened at the resorts, I'll let you guys know. As soon as we have Fast Passes open, I'll let you guys know. We did just get the announcement that Disneyland is opening to out-of-state guests very soon. They're boring colors, but I'll post a pic. No! So my husband like was super excited that they finally came out with like a matte black. Cause that is like all him. Harrison got like this really cute like rainbow one. It's the Pride band, but he loves rainbows. And then I got just like the pale pink, and it was pretty. And so the other thing is that there's really cute companies that will and they're like $1. They have like really cute vinyls, and they're on Etsy, and you can like customize your band. So I've done that. I think I have one in this little drawer I can show you. Is it this one? Yeah. So this one, we just did a purple band, and we just got this little vinyl. It is an alien from Toy Story. It's a little worn off. But it was like $1 to get that. And so we customized that for Harrison. So there's always like really cute ways that you can customize. Also, I gotta show you guys, whoop, I gotta get them, my new ears. So I try to get a new pair of ears on every trip. These ones are the new summer. It says, I know it's backwards for you guys, hello summer. Yeah, that's everything. So as things update, tomorrow we do have booking for the Wish open. I know I have one client that I'm getting a spot for tomorrow. So if you have any interest in getting in on the Wish, the Disney Wish is the new ship, let me know, because general booking for that opens tomorrow. And I think that's all I have for Disney updates. All right, so if you guys have any more questions, drop them in the comments below, and I will see you real soon.